Hello friends, it's David from StereoVisual Media, and today we're going to be trying something a little bit different. People on the internet seem to be rather fond of tier lists, and I seem to be rather fond of bands' discographies in their entirety. So why don't we do some rankings? I'm going to do some of these from time to time, every so often. Some of these I will do by myself, some of these I will call in help from some friends, and we're going to deep dive into these discographies and to determine once and for all how they rank against one another. In terms of bands who have a wonderful discography of music from start to finish, beginning of career to current day, there are few bands I admire and enjoy as much as Nine Inch Nails, and I've been a huge fan of them since I was like 14 years old. So I figured it was a great place to start. I found this incredible tier list on Tier Maker, and it even includes some stuff I wouldn't have even considered putting into a main tier list for Nine Inch Nails stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the very beginning, and we're going to start with the Purest Feeling demos. I know this doesn't count because it wasn't officially released, but they made their rounds on the internet, and I've had them downloaded for years. B-tier material. Now, it's real silly and kind of dated, but a lot of the early versions of songs that appeared on Pretty Hate Machine, solid demos. The version of Sanctified, the demo, it's like a full band, almost U2-y in terms of its guitar tone with the reverb and the delay and stuff like that. Very different from how it appeared on Pretty Hate Machine. Kinda I Want To. Very different. But then you have stuff that didn't appear on anything, like maybe just once, and that's a song I think is fantastic. It's real dated and real silly, but I think it's really catchy, and every so often it does pop into mind, which is always fun. You go into October of 1989, we have Pretty Hate Machine, which was the first full-length album from Nine Inch Nails. Lots of fantastic songs on there. Head Like a Hole, Terrible Lie, Sin. You have your deeper cut, Something I Can Never Have, Kinda I Want To. Ring Finger's fantastic. It's so good. And I think it gets a lot of praise, and it deserves that praise. It's not their best record, but I do think it's a solid A tier. So these two I have to talk about together because they're definitely related. That's Broken and Fixed. So Broken starts the shift from sort of synth pop, sort of rock stuff into the more industrial metal, sort of heavier stuff that would follow on Downward Spiral a few years later. But you have songs like Wish, you have Happiness and Slavery. Wish got him a Grammy. I think it was the only Grammy Nine Inch Nails won, oddly enough. Not their only nomination, but I think that might be their only win. I'm going to place an edit in here somewhere, because I'm going to feel real stupid if I wasn't right about that. Broken. Very good. Love me some Wish. Love Happiness and Slavery. It's damn good. It's B tier, I feel. It's real good, but it's B tier. Don't fault me for putting it in the same category as the demos for Pretty Hate Machine. It's pretty solid. The first remix project came out also in 1992 with Fixed. This was also an EP, but it's all remixes. One of the Wish remixes on here is real cool. But overall, that's all it is remixes. It could be better. Inoffensive, but inessential as well. C tier. Sorry, Fixed. Downward Spiral. S tier. I don't have to go into any more detail other than the fact that it's the Downward Spiral, but it opens with a sample from THX 1138, and it's just full steam ahead right out of the gate with Mr. Self-Destruct into Piggy. It's a ridiculous album, just start to finish. It ends with Hurt. And just everything in between. Yeah, you got Closer in the middle, and Closer was played to death on the radio and MTV. But it's a good album, and it's a good song, and it's fine. Closer's a good song. The album is real good. You know what I mean. It's fantastic. S tier, Undisputed. Further down the spiral, this is the second remix set that they put out. And this, in terms of full-fledged Nine Inch Nails remix albums is probably what I would consider to be their best. That being said, it's still C tier. Not all of the mixes totally involve Nine Inch Nails on the production end, so there's a lot of guests, a lot of cooks in the kitchen. It's good, but you don't need it. What you do need, however, is 1999's The Fragile, another undisputed S tier. And I know that's probably pretty cheap, but it belongs there. Another killer opening track, Somewhat Damaged. You know, you got Day the World Went Away. You got We're in This Together. You got Starfuckers Inc. You got Into the Void. Like, I mean, it's... The whole album is so good. Yeah, it's a bit long, it's a bit heavy, it's a bit depressing, but it's real good. And those songs are even better live. Like, it really is. It's so good. You'll notice a trend here that for a while, Nine Inch Nails were sort of immediately following up their studio releases with remix projects, starting with Broken. And The Fragile was no different. We got Things Falling Apart. And this is one of the weaker releases. And it is our first D tier. It's fine. It's good. I'm pretty sure I still have a copy on CD somewhere over there. But yeah, in terms of the Fragile companion releases, it's definitely not the best. But very close is And All That Could Have Been, which we have both halves here, live and still, and the live album is excellent. It's all Fragile tour recordings, and it is just aggressive. It's loud. You know, you have a solid live recording of Head Like a Hole, which is pretty much the framework of Head Like a Hole live for the last 25 years, essentially. It's so good. But yeah, that's an incredible live album. Honestly, A tier. It's real good. Still was sort of a companion disc. If you got the deluxe edition of And All It Could Have Been, that was the disc 2. And if you bought the CD individually or you bought the DVD or VHS, you got a little mail order card that you could send off and buy still. I have a mail order copy of it over there as well. It's an EP sort of length release, more stripped back renditions of songs from the previous few albums. And it's real good, and the instrumentals on it are excellent as well. There's a couple original tracks that are exclusive to this release, and they're real good. I think it's B tier. I think it's a solid B tier release. I don't know how controversial this is going to be. But we'll see. We get into the 2000s. We have With Teeth in 2005. And this is an album I think is fantastic. And I think gets a lot of crap. Because everybody likes to throw Hand That Feeds under the bus. But there's a lot of really great stuff on this album too. All the Love in the World. Another fantastic album opener. Right Where It Belongs. You know, things like that. With Teeth, Only, The Collector. There are so many good tracks on With Teeth. It deserves more recognition than it gets. And that's why it's going into A tier. And that's probably going to be controversial, but I think it is fantastic. It is a really good album. Year Zero followed in 2007, and that was the first Nine Inch Nails album I can remember like coming out, and I can remember going to Kmart probably around the time it came out and buying a copy. And it had the disc that changed color when you put your hand on it. Concept record, very, very lore heavy, so to speak. It's real good. You got sort of a mid-2000s garage band kind of feel. Less so than an album like The Slip, which we'll get to. But it's real good. It's fantastic. It's conceptual, it's complex. It's got survivalism and capital G and Meet Your Master. And it's damn good. It is a fantastic album, and it's going in S tier. I don't give a shit. Year Zero, S tier. I don't feel the same way about Year Zero Remixed. C tier. It's fine. It's cool. I liked how when you bought it on CD, it was a CD and a DVD, and the DVD contained all of the stems from Year Zero. So you could make your own remixes, and Nine Inch Nails had a remix website, remix.nin.com, and you could upload your remixes and download other people's oh, it was cool. It was real neat, and you can still find a lot of those remixes online. But Year Zero remixed, it was it's all right. But what's better than all right is 2008's Ghosts 1 through 4, and this was the first Nine Inch Nails instrumental project, totally instrumental, and it was 2 CDs split up into 4 unique chunks. I remember Ghosts 1, which was the first sort of bundle of tracks, was downloadable for free, sort of following the In Rainbows model, and something that Nine Inch Nails will do again immediately following this. But yeah, and then they did a double CD, and they did a vinyl release, and the vinyl is out of print still, which is preposterous, much like its predecessor, Year Zero, which is also still out of print. But you know, maybe soon. Well, we'll see what happens. Ghost 1 through 4, B tier. I feel like that's fair. The Slip. This one was important because it was the first full Nine Inch Nails album, as opposed to just mostly being Trent and Atticus. He recorded it with a full band, and this album is really underrated. It's fantastic, and it was also available on NineInchNails.com in its entirety, in full, for free. And I think you might... I'm also going to check and put a note in here as well, to make sure I'm right. But I think you can still download it for free on Nine Inch Nails' website. I don't know. I will check. But the Slip is damn good. It's short. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's heavy in places. It's soft in places. And it really, much like Ghost, there are some moments that really showcase Trent's piano playing ability. A tier. Fight Me. Recoiled. I haven't heard this one, and I feel terrible putting it into D tier. But think of this one as an illegitimate D tier, or inconclusive D tier, because I haven't much gotten into Coil, and I just know that this sort of exists as a collaborative remix effort. Hesitation Marks in 2013. At the time of this album's release, Nine Inch Nails had just ended, I believe, a 4-year hiatus that sort of started after their 2009 Ninja tour with Jane's Addiction, and they sort of just stopped making music for a while and touring, and Trent became a film composer, and they put The Social Network out and won an Oscar and all that. But Trent came back in 2013, and they signed to Columbia Records, and they put out Hesitation Marks, and then left Columbia Records. I feel like a lot of people were kind of disappointed with Hesitation Marks because the artwork sort of framed it out and sort of created the expectation that it was going to be some sort of Downward Spiral follow-up. But it is a very different album from the Downward Spiral, and is a very different album from a lot of their records. But I think BT release, it's good. I enjoy it a lot. Check that one out. It's pretty solid. Fractal Deviations 1. Now, this is an interesting inclusion, because this is just the Fragile, but it's slightly longer, and it doesn't have the lyrics. So I put the Fragile in S tier. Do I put Deviations in S tier? No. It's great, and I have it. But without the vocals, without that included, it really does take that much away from the album. And then we get into the last 3 Nine Inch Nails releases in this tier list, at least. Not the actual events, Add Violence and Bad Witch. And these are, for all intents and purposes, EPs. Bad Witch they pushed as an album. Fine. Also, Nine Inch Nails' first release for Capitol Records, which I think is interesting, and I think it was also their only release for Capitol Records as well. But the first 2 EPs, I believe, were put out independently, at least digitally. Maybe Capitol distributed them
physically as well. At least the second two, I know they did. But Not the Actual Events is real good. Burning Bright Field on Fire, that song is ridiculous. It's fantastic. That's pretty good. I think that's also B tier. Add Violence, it's pretty solid as well, but it's less memorable, I feel, with the exception of something I think Less Than is on that. That song's pretty good. Bad Witch is probably their most experimental. Trent going into sort of Bowie territory, playing sax, which is great, don't get me wrong. It's just, it sort of comes out of nowhere. But yeah, on God Break Down the Door. It's good. I don't tend to come back to it as much as something like even Hesitation Marks. It's good. I do think Not the Actual Events is probably the best of those 3 EPs. So we're going to have to end up putting it in C tier. But it is very solid, and I feel like this is actually a lot more varied than I probably was expecting it to have been upon deciding to make this. I really did think going into it I was just going to end up throwing them all in the S and the A tier, but I've surprised myself before. That being said, that concludes this 9 Inch Nails discography tier ranking. I do thank you all for joining me, and I hope you join me next time. We will be covering another one of my favorite artists. Maybe we'll bring a guest along. Join me next time, and I'll see you then.